going through an SEC audit right now. The funds over there, the hedge fund, is almost done with the audit, the annual audit that we have. So we're excited to be able to pass those out to the LPs there at Digital Ascension Group, Digital Wealth Partners. And yeah, I think people are going to be happy to see all of that information come out. So without further ado, we got a lot of people on here. Again, appreciate you taking time out and ask great questions. And I don't ever always forget to say this, but if you wouldn't mind, please like, subscribe, share with somebody else you think would find value from this. And we'll go ahead and jump into the questions. All right. First up, we got Money Matters greatly. He says, or she says, I'm not picking genders here. Says, you mentioned that last year it doesn't, if it doesn't hit in 2025 as 100%, it will be $1,000.26. Do you still believe that? And also, once mentioned ETFs alone could bring it to $25. Why hasn't that happened? Love your content. Appreciate your likes. Thank you for the good questions. So I do think that that's absolutely possible here in 2026. It's still predicated on all of the macro events playing out, right? Until we see huge institutional flows and we see a supply shock on XRP, that's unlikely, right? We'll continue to operate in the capacity that we are now until those things play out. But when they do, you could absolutely see, a significantly higher price. On the $25, Paul Barron kind of like I don't want to say backed me into a corner because I really like Paul, but he kind of chopped the rest of the thesis out and he said, just ETF volume, what do you think we could see? And I said $25. We haven't seen that yet because the OTC desk and the dark pools haven't really been depleted. The volume from the ETFs haven't moved. They're not making purchases through the exchanges at scale to be able to drive demand and the price to that point. But once we see the depletion of the OTC desk and the dark pools, if you didn't have the additional demand from the exchanges and other institutions and other FOMO, $25 is pretty reasonable in that type of market action. I do think that it'll go substantially higher than that because I think it'll be, kind of an all-at-once deal. The reason I say that is if it's not, you're not going to see the adoption of XRP at scale for the utility that we are all hoping for. The people that might be invested in that asset and the reason they might be invested in it, if you don't see that type of institutional demand and that amount of demand all at one time, it's not going to get to the prices required for it to be able to facilitate trade at scale globally.